The female boss just asked the young man to put away the mahjong. She never expected that as soon as she left, the young man would wrap the mahjong in the tablecloth. Then he started shaking the mahjong package frantically. After a full hour of shaking, he laid the mahjong back on the table. Amazingly, the originally disordered tiles were now even neater than after being cleaned by an automatic mahjong table. At that moment, the female boss happened to walk out of the restroom. Seeing the neatly arranged mahjong tiles, she picked up a set out of curiosity to inspect them carefully. To her surprise, every set was a winning hand. It was only then that she suddenly realized this young worker at the casino was far from ordinary. In fact, he was a disciple of the world's god of gambling. At just 18 years old, he had already mastered various gambling tricks. Not only could he identify dice values just by sound, but he could also instantly see through any cheater's techniques. However, despite his remarkable skills, he had nearly frozen to death on the streets a year ago, back when he left his master. His master warned him never to rely on gambling or cheating to make a living, because anyone who steps into the gambling world will eventually face defeat. So, he dedicated himself to helping gamblers quit their addiction. Lacking a steady income, he nearly perished on the streets. Fortunately, the female boss found him just in time. She not only covered his medical expenses, but also arranged for him to work as a casino attendant. That day, the female boss gathered all the employees for a meeting. She took out all her savings and distributed them equally among them. Because the world's so-called greatest gambling fraudster was coming to challenge the casino, she knew her employees were no match for him. And every time this gambler won, he forced the casino to shut down permanently. Upon hearing this, everyone refused to take the money. Out of gratitude for the female boss, they decided to stand with the casino through the crisis. At that moment, the young man unexpectedly stepped forward, taking $3,000 and putting it in his pocket. Everyone was furious, calling him ungrateful. If not for the female boss saving him back then, no one could have guessed that this $3,000 would be the key to saving both the female boss and the casino. Meanwhile, the infamous gambler arrived with $20 million in cash. The female boss accepted the challenge. When she heard that he proposed playing poker with unlimited stakes, she immediately summoned two of her men to play against him. During the card cutting, the gambler discreetly hid a few cards up his sleeve. Though his technique was highly advanced, the young man standing nearby saw through it completely. When the female boss's two men followed the game, the gambler confidently went all in with his bet. This move sent the entire room into a panic. Even though they initially had confidence in their hands, his overwhelming presence made them hesitate. Seeing their reaction, the gambler let out a cold laugh. Not only did he accurately name the two men's hands, but he also hinted that his hand was even weaker than theirs. Yet, the two men still didn't dare to take action. After some consideration, they voluntarily folded. When they saw that the gambler's hand was indeed weaker than theirs, they immediately regretted their decision.